Hi, since HFSC was founded 25 years ago, our mission has remained the same: save lives by increasing awareness of the benefits and availability of home fire sprinklers, ultimately increasing the number of installations in new 1- and 2-family homes. The U.S. Fire Administration develops and delivers fire prevention and safety education programs in partnership with other federal agencies, the fire and emergency response community, the media, and safety interest groups. USFA also works with the public and private groups to promote and improve fire prevention and life safety through research, testing, and evaluation. For years, USFA has supported HFSC's effort. USFA representatives have consistently attended our board meetings, exchanged information and resources. Bruce Bouch, from Fire Program Specialist with USFA, has represented USFA at our meetings for the last few years, but certainly Bruce is no stranger to home fire sprinklers and no stranger to the advocacy for home fire sprinklers. And so we're really excited that he joins us on the board now. So thank you for your time today, Bruce. Thank you for all that you do. And I know prior to joining USFA, you worked with the Office of the Maryland State Fire Marshal, so you were very familiar with HFSC and our resources. So we appreciate all that you've done over the years. Talk a little bit about your affiliation and your work with HFSC.
Well, firstly, I want to say congratulations to the Home Fire Sprinkler Coalition on 25 amazing years of promoting the life-saving value of residential fire sprinklers. The work that has gone into this entire process is definitely extremely valuable. And it's, personally, it's a good feeling to know that we're always a part of saving lives every day, even if we're sleeping. I've had the opportunity to conduct many fire and sprinkler demonstrations and used HFSC educational material at community events. To include side-by-side demonstrations held at Dover International Speedway during NASCAR events.
That's pretty cool. Those are pretty cool events.
Oh, absolutely. The amount of times I've done side-by-sides, I can't even recall how many I've done, but the ones at the NASCAR events were really neat because, you're talking about, this whole group of people coming from every aspect in life to come and enjoy a car race. And so, it really reached across all the different lines to really express the importance and value of these devices.
Well, you and I, when we were doing some of the early conversations about having this call, you talked about a call that you had gotten from somebody in Maryland about sprinklers. And I guess the timing was pretty good and they probably got the right person to talk to. Tell us a little bit about that encounter.
Well, this citizen had called USFA, of all places, to inquiring about the sprinkler requirement in Maryland. And then, of course, the call was directed to me. And oh boy, did she get the right guy. Because, as retired as a senior deputy state fire marshal from Maryland, and I also helped push through the legislation with many others, of course, to make this an actual requirement in the state of Maryland that all new homes be sprinklered. So the enjoyable part was the whole entire discussion, because her demeanor at first was, standoffish. And then as I spoke and I started talking about the importance and value, by the time I finished, she not only had a great understanding of residential fire sprinklers, she was thankful for their actual purpose and grateful that she actually called. So I was excited to receive that request.
Yeah, and doing home fire sprinklers one call at a time might take us a little while, but it's a great example of how these interactions and the education is so important. And USFA has had a strong position around home fire sprinklers. Talk about why this has been so important for USFA.
Well, you're correct in that statement. It is a position of USFA that all citizens should be protected against death, injury, and property loss resulting from fire in their homes. All homes should be equipped with both smoke alarms and residential fire sprinklers. And all families should have in practice an emergency escape plan as well. We have a lot of development with research, and we've promoted this research and testing and demonstrations of home fire sprinklers for more than 30 years. USFA and HFSC messages are based on what the research has demonstrated, that home fire sprinklers can save lives of the building occupants It saves lives of firefighters. Most people don't think about that aspect. They think, okay, the firefighters are dressed, they're coming in, they're going to do all this, but they're also put into these very dangerous situations that they're not familiar with. They don't know the layout of that home. They don't know the layout of that building. And so they are significantly at risk when they enter a house that's fully involved. It also significantly reduces the risk of premature building collapse to firefighters by lightweight construction components when they are involved in fire, because our legacy homes that were built with dimensional lumber, which is the actual solid timber material, are now built with particle board that has a piece of 2x material on the top, 2x material on the bottom, and they burn through so quickly. And the amount of time it takes for a building to collapse is greatly increased as a result. So, and then of course, substantially reduce the property loss caused by a fire when you have residential fire sprinklers in place.
Yeah, so you really hit on all of those benefits. And I think the firefighter health and safety one is one that is really starting to resonate, not only with the fire service, but with the public at large. If we can do more to reduce the exposure to our firefighters that we know are at higher risk of cancer, we know that the majority of injuries and fires are occurring in homes. So sprinklers would really have a positive impact on those numbers as well. HFSC partners with USFA through Fire is Everyone's Fights initiative. And we include the logo on many of our educational resources. Talk about that whole initiative and why that is so critical to these efforts.
Well, fire is everyone's fight. It's not just a phrase, it's not just a statement, it's an actual factual feeling that everyone should have, because it's everyone's responsibility in one form or another to prevent a fire to begin with. And then when a sprinkler gets involved, it's because it already has occurred. So, the initiative to unite the fire service, life safety organizations, professionals in an effort to reduce home fire injuries and deaths, as well as property loss, by changing how people think about fire and fire prevention. Partnerships like this are critical means of delivering accurate and consistent safety messages to the community. We invite fire departments, life safety organizations, and fire and life safety professionals to partner on this important initiative. But it goes beyond that too, because the public is also a very, very big part of that. And understanding that it is everyone's fight makes that difference.
That's true. And, one of the reasons HFSC was formed 25 years ago was to bring that consistency of message across all of the different safety organizations and partners that we have, so that people would be hearing that same message regardless of the organization that they were going to. And USFA website provides home fire sprinkler outreach materials that are consistent with those HFSC messages, and recommends both HFSC and NFPA Fire Sprinkler Initiative as trusted and reliable sources for free outreach materials. Tell us about those resources.
Well, we have a myriad of items that are available on our website. You go to the USFA website and you click on prevention, and you will find a host of fact sheets, and social media cards are really neat too, because they're already prepared. You can utilize them on any social media aspect, whether it's Facebook and Twitter, and they're already pre-made, ready to go. Our fact sheets are often at the bottom. You can put your own department or agency information on it, so it looks like it's coming from you to your local public. So that's important as well, because then there's ownership. The actual factual data, such as HFSC shares, is also on our website, that shows the analysis from NIST and USFA working together to show the importance and value of residential fire sprinklers as well. Another cool aspect is USFA falls under FEMA. And we've all heard of the FEMA mobile housing units, the FEMA trailers that are set in locations where there's complete devastation and you have to give people a place to live. Well, USFA partnered and managed to outfit every one of those mobile housing units with the life-saving fire sprinkler systems to protect those that have already been uprooted from their homes due to severe weather and wildlife fire incidents. And, so that they're taken out of what their comfort zone is, but at least when they're in their new temporary housing, they are protected from the actual situation of fire.
Well, thank you very much, Bruce, not only for talking with us today, but also for all of the work that you've done throughout your career. And thank you to USFA for your long history of continued support of this effort. We're going to move this forward in the next 25 years with great partners like USFA.
Well, USFA thanks HFSC's partnership as well, because it's that collaboration that makes all the difference when it comes to preventing injuries and saving lives. So thank you as well.